let me finish.
Okay, well, I thought I had, but go ahead.
Okay, y'all, let's take turns and let each other finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the podcast where three minds give their unfiltered and sometimes unpopular opinions on all the craziness going on in our lives and in this world. We're your hosts, Jillian,
Janice.
And Michael.
Settle in and let's take a deep dive. All right, welcome back to another episode of Let Me Finish. I'm your host, Jillian.
I'm Janice.
All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and jump right in, and we are going to get into our weeks. I'll go first. Okay. So this week, so it's actually been 2 weeks since our last episode. Janice was feeling a little under the weather, so we skipped. We skipped last week. I two of my shows that I've been absolutely loving had their season finales last week. And it was White Lotus, and the other one was The Pit, which I absolutely fell in love with that show.
Okay.
And so anyone who is a original ER, or even if you are a Grey's Anatomy fan, and maybe when it comes to Grey's Anatomy, you are the case of the week kind of person, where you can see like bits and pieces of the interpersonal relationship with the doctors, but really the star of the show is the patients and how they deal with the patients in the show. And Noah Wiley, who is formerly of the show
I feel
ER.
like that's ER. ER was more patient centric, and I feel like Grey's Anatomy is more hospital people centric.
Anyone who knew ER, they did towards the as the show developed and different characters came in and out. It was very relationship centric because a lot of the characters were dating each other on the set, so you got to see things outside of.
That's how they describe it, though. They describe ER as more patient centric than Grey's Anatomy.
Correct.
Compared to.
Yeah, so I think, ER walks so Grey's Anatomy can run, really. And The Pit was, it really is. It really is. There is no Grey's Anatomy without a show like ER. Because really you're just kind of, it was groundbreaking in anyone who remembers when ER first came out. It was groundbreaking. The stuff that they were doing on that show. And so the premise of this show is that you're following these nurses and doctors through one shift. So it's 15 episodes each hour. Each episode is 1 hour in their shift. And like I said, it's one of those things where it has grown by word of mouth. Slowly, week over week, people start mentioning it.
Oh, that's kind of like 24 hours, huh?
Like the show 24, yes. So
24.
Yeah, the name of the show was 24, which another show I really loved as well. So it really just built up, and I just felt like the emotions. I really do feel that Noah Wiley will win an Emmy for what he did this season. I'm just like, chef's kiss. He'll at least get a nomination, if not win, just for the emotions that he left, the way you connected with his character and the emotional range that he had to have.
I'm intrigued by it, but I heard I think you should watch this show Pulse on Netflix. They say it's another similar
someone did
thing.
say I've once again, because of all the buzz around The Pit, they were like, damn, this kind of sucks for this show because everyone's gonna be comparing it to The Pit. People have said it's not as good as The Pit, and so I think people going from The Pit to the Pulse may have a little bit of disappointment in the show, but it's not. People said it's not bad. It's just not that level that is The Pit. So that kind of sucks for them, but I'll probably still check that show out as well.
I think it's up there as far as Netflix ranking. I think it's like number 2.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Netflix,
I'm sure it's not,
it's
awful.
a lot of viewers.
I'm not saying I'm sure it's not awful or anything like that. I'm just saying comparing the two. I'm like, it's a lot, but so yeah, that I'm like I said, I absolutely love the show. And then White Lotus had its season finale.
Okay, so Lakin told me a little bit. She told me a little bit about it. No spoilers. And I was like, oh.
No spoilers. Yes, there was a couple things where there's one particular scene where I'm just like, what the fuck?
What's happening? Yeah, Lakin was like, oh, she said her and her fiance were like, wait, is this happening?
But here's the thing.
But anyways, so I kind of caught a little when I watched the one episode. I was like, what is...
Yeah. Weird. Right. And so I felt like, okay, something's going on here after that first episode. But I will have to say is that I also watch Game of Thrones. So
it's giving Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So
but I feel like worse.
No.
I don't know. Well, maybe not. No, maybe not worse.
It's not.
Because Game of Thrones was straight up. So okay.
Yeah. So it was not. It was like, okay, after Game of Thrones, I'm just like, you know what?
I don't know. Like it was like they were both like, wait, what?
Yeah. No, trust me. I'm like, after Game of Thrones, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Do whatever you want to do.
I remember the first. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Game of Thrones, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, I was like, maybe this show's not for me. Pretty immediately. I was like, oh. And
that was the first episode that happened
and I was like, this is too much.
Yeah.
And I think I tried to finish the first season, like I said, after Khal
Drogo died.
Yeah. I was like, never mind.
Spoiler alert, if anyone who hasn't watched Game of Thrones.
First of all, if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, then you don't give a shit what kind of spoilers I just gave. I mean, doesn't everybody know the spoilers for Game of Thrones? I never even watched it, and I know so many things that happened.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
I mean, Jason Momoa was only in the first season.
Exactly. So I'd be like...
Yeah, if you didn't know...
Spoiler alert, he dies.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
He wasn't obviously on the show the whole time, so...
Yeah. But I did have...
I was just surprised he never came back, though. Like, never. I just thought it was crazy.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, the narrative for...
Yeah, really, honestly, Game of Thrones, no character was safe. Really, any character could die. So that was kind of
that's another reason why I was never like gung-ho about trying to like get into that show, because I don't like watching people die that I like in shows.
Yeah, it was a lot of deaths in the
show that I probably gave like grace to, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it knowing that these people are dying, is Spartacus.
Yeah.
But even then, I was still at the end like,
a lot of people died in The Walking Dead too.
Yeah, a lot of people weren't safe there, but you really knew Rick was always safe. Rick's safe. Yeah. I always knew Rick was safe. Mm-hmm. I thought Carl was too. So
wrong.
I was like,
so wrong.
Yeah. Spoiler alerts all over, but these shows have been long done, so I don't feel bad.
If you haven't watched it, too bad.
I don't feel bad.
So yes, there was that, and then a show that I loved. Their second season came out, which was The Last of Us. So that's kind of in the zombie-ish genre.
Yeah.
Ish, not 100% like blueprint as far as zombie movie, but it's an interesting premise. It's actually based off of a video game where people are infected with a fungus that actually takes over them, and they have characteristics of zombies, and very dangerous. And if you get bit, you're infected with this fungus who takes over, yada yada yada. And there's like different stages as far as like the infection and how it takes over your body. So season 2 started. The first episode of season 2 just aired last night, so I'm really excited to kind of see where that season. I kind of already know certain things that are going to happen, so it'll be interesting to kind of see how it all plays out. So I've been excited for that. And then I started reading a new book, Careless People. It is about a former executive at Facebook, and she's taking us through it's a biography. So
about to say, so that sounds like true.
Yeah, so it is true. It is a biography, and she talks about her time at Facebook, and like it really just kind of
talk about
Zuckerberg, yeah, and just the culture at Facebook. And I'm like, oh, so yeah, these people are truly evil. And evil. Yeah. Like the more I'm reading it, I'm like, it is the growth at all costs. How can we make money at all costs, even at the detriment of your quote unquote customers? And the more that she talks about it, she just like, just to kind of not,
correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that like most conglomerates?
So it's a little different with Facebook. The way she, like I said,
especially social media conglomerates.
I'm like a third of the way through the book. So with the premise is that she's just like, she discovered Facebook like in like the infancy of Facebook, and she actually used to work at the UN, working with diplomats, making policy changes, making policy decisions that affect people all over the world. And she's just like, I feel like Facebook is going to be very powerful. It's going to be affecting people's lives, and I want to be on the ground floor helping shape policies so that, you know, we're doing good in people's lives.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's how she frames it.
That was a very naive.
She was very naive
mindset,
and
then. Sorry.
Yeah, it was very naive, and
yes, some people are good. That's what people do. They're good at heart.
And so in fact, the job that she ended up getting, she actually.
If more people had her mindset, it'd probably be better.
It wasn't the job she ended up having at Facebook wasn't even a job position at Facebook. She actually pitched the idea of the position to Facebook and was very determined. I think it took her about 1.5 years to actually get the job that she wanted at Facebook, with a lot, like I said, a lot of tasks. And she really believed in, hey, we have to get ahead of this stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to be dealing with governments and what kind of policies they're going to implement and on this company, and we have to be very careful how that goes. So like I said, I'm only a third of the way through the book, so it's interesting, and the parts that I've seen so far, I'm just like, wow, like it's crazy. Like this culture.
I literally would not think anything less from a book. Any person that said they worked there,
Facebook.
I would think. Mm-hmm. I mean, look how it started and the controversy around that.
Yeah. And I think, but I think with her just seeing the behind the scenes and actually hearing actual things that have happened behind the scenes, that it's almost like Social Network. You kind of see how, the beginning of Facebook, but now that it's after everything is said and done. And by the time the part I'm reading is that actually Facebook has just gone public. So that's the part she's in her career right now. She's worked there a little while. It's now officially a public company. It was putting up its initial IPOs. So to see the desperation of trying to grow the company and getting more and more users, and they're talking about how it affects kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she talks about, these executives don't even allow their own children on this network on Facebook because they know how dangerous it is for these kids. And so it's just very interesting to kind of see her
because I'm
talk about the culture that is Facebook.
I mean, for me, the culture that is Facebook is a culture that's the internet. Like, you can access anything. It's super influential. You don't know who people are talking to. You don't know who you're actually talking. It's the internet.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
And YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, like all those companies, like all they're all about is growing their numbers. Mm-hmm. It's sales. Yeah. I mean,
really understand it's users. That's the real product, is the users.
Well, yeah, because they don't have users, they don't have anything.
Yeah, because they're really, at the end of the day, what those social media sites are doing is gathering information about their users and selling that information to the highest bidder. You, the user, are the product.
No, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's how they make their money, is the ads.
Yeah. That's
so
exactly.
Anytime you click it and say, share it to me, like, you're basically saying, hey, I'm okay with you.
Yeah. And they're
interacting with me. And I mean, it's the information I'm giving you. Yeah. I mean, it's the same information that's on my profile.
Yeah. And it's interesting to see.
The world can see. So.
And it's funny to see, because like I said, she's going around talking like prime ministers and presidents and high government officials, and they're like, okay, these are our concerns. You're talking about people's privacy, that these are concerns that were being confronted at a very early infancy that of Facebook. It was very much a concern, and it, of course, is still concerning. You're seeing how unchecked that has gone and how it's now affecting our real lives. Because
that's not really just Facebook, that's everywhere.
Specifically Facebook, as far
Instagram,
I think,
which is is a part of Facebook.
It's owned by
TikTok. YouTube.
But really what they're doing is following the blueprint that is Facebook. I think these companies
Which came first, YouTube or Facebook?
You're asking the wrong person.
I thought it was YouTube. I thought YouTube was the first one.
Yeah, but I think as far as like the popularity and users, I think Facebook
Facebook was at first only college students, and something else came out to where everybody could use it.
I don't know.
MySpace was probably the ridge.
So we don't, we, like I said,
MySpace was, I don't know, because I don't remember how much stuff you would really share on MySpace. I don't know. So like I said, it's called Careless People. I'm loving it so far. And like I said, it's very interesting, and it's kind of like maybe I need to go through a social media detox, because like I said, seeing behind the scenes, behind the curtain, and just see how grimy some of these people are is just like, okay. Yeah, we're different in the sense that if you didn't think that was happening, I definitely knew it.
Yeah, but it's one thing to think it.
And I knew I was a consumer of it.
Yeah.
I've always been.
Yeah, it's one thing to think it, but to actually see in black and white what they're actually doing it's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel
you
like
can have some distance.
Literally, the social network should have shown you what that product was all about from its inception.
Yeah, but I think I only watched Social Network like one time, that movie.
It's interesting. Well, I bet you'd find it very interesting to go back and watch it now that you have been using Facebook for such a long time.
Yeah, I actually don't. I mean, I rarely get on Facebook anymore.
Well, you get on Instagram, which is a product of theirs anyways.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Really is what it is. It's just a different way to take the content. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's all it really is.
Yeah. So we did that. And then on Sunday, we went to 60 Vines and had brunch, which was really great. It was us and a couple friends and Stacy. We did that. So it was just really nice. I think we were there for like 2-3 hours and just like shooting the breeze and catching up on each other. And it was really nice.
Yeah.
I had a great time. And the weather has been really kind of you can tell like spring.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's funny when I was talking to Mom, she's like, I was telling her you were sick. I'm like, honestly, Mom, I really think it's the weather. Mm-hmm. And then like anyone who lives in Dallas knows that this is a time where all the pollen gets kind of, blown all over. You get that really that green or yellowish film on your car from all the pollen being blown around. So anyone who suffers from allergies, this is not a good time for you. So I was telling Mom, I'm like, it's definitely that. And my mom's like, our mom has the absolute worst allergies. Yeah. And she's like, I'm so happy I'm not there. I'm like, yeah, you would be absolutely miserable right now if you were here, because her allergies would have been.
Yeah, they would have. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have allergies, and I was suffering. So
yeah, I really do think it's because I'm like, because 1 minute it was like 30 degrees and the next it was like 80. So I'm just like, that up and down really screws with you too.
True.
So what'd you do?
So last week, so like the last 2 weeks, so we didn't record last week because I was sick. I literally got sick. I started feeling sick soon as I got home Friday, like that Friday before I woke up with like a little cough. And I had a headache, so I ended up being late for work because I was like, okay, now I'm going to lay back down and take some Tylenol or something for my headache. So I took something, laid back down, fucking overslept, rushed into work, and then worked the rest of the day. But I was like, oh, just don't feel good. But then I also had a Pilates class that Saturday. So I was like, okay, I can feel like I'm getting there. So let me just go work out, because if I don't work out, I probably won't work out all weekend, and then I'll end up being sick. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna work out. I worked out, came home Saturday morning, and went straight to the bed. I was there the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, because I called her and she was like,
I was there
hey.
the rest of the weekend. I literally did not barely even taste the air. I probably should have got up and got some medicine and stuff, which I didn't. I really only took like just some, no, I didn't even take any emergency. Because it really wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. And then, so Sunday I was like, okay, Jillian, I'm just feeling a little sick. So I'm just going to rest. And yeah. And so I even got up that Monday and got up and got dressed and I went to work. So, because I was like, okay, I don't feel great, but I'm just going to see if I can make it through. As soon as I was driving in, I had a meeting, like a management meeting Monday morning. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to the meeting and then I'll be like, okay, I need to leave. And so, but as soon as I got there, I talked to my boss for like 10 minutes and she's like, why don't you just go now? It was like 10 o'clock or like 9:30. She's like, why don't you just go now? I was like, okay. So they ended up just moving the meeting or having it and just filled me in. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was out for the next 2 days. So I was out Monday and Tuesday of last week of work. And then, what else did I do? I mean, I guess really nothing else for the rest of the week.
Yeah. Cause you were like, even on Wednesday, you're still kind of recovering.
Yeah, no, I feel like I just now started feeling 100% like today. Like even yesterday, I was like a little stuffy.
Yeah.
Here and there, and it would come and go. So, yeah. So then, yeah, we went to brunch, which again, y'all, 60 Vines was good. I was very impressed. Really, the appetizers were banging. So,
very much so.
I would definitely recommend that place. 9 out of 10 for sure. So it's actually not too far away from my house either. So I was like, okay, I can definitely come here for like a little happy hour or just come eat a couple appetizers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. So, and then we went over to someplace in Allen, Watercrest.
Waters Creek or Waters Creek.
Yeah, it's like a shopping center. And what's that thing called? L'Occitane? Mm-hmm. So we went to L'Occitane because, like I said, I had a sale, and our cousin Stacy had pinned it on her YouTube, and I went and tried the almond shower oil. So good. So I went and got the body oil, so I can see if I like it. So we shopped around for a second, and then went home. I went and picked up my groceries, because I'm still counting points. I'm doing good. I'm 6 pounds down, guys. Woo-hoo.
Yay!
Yeah. So, but I feel like, I don't know, throughout all these hormones and everything pumping through my body, I feel like I'm finally leveling out. So it's good too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I'm so happy.
I feel like you're like finally like
getting back to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. That's good.
I know. I feel like people are like, ooh, energy's high. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, I think
I've been doped for a while.
I think you have you've been through so much, and so it's nice to kind of see everything kind of
come out the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've earned it. It was hard fought, so you earned that.
Yeah, it was a rough 2024, but we are on the mend. We're moving. And
quick update, our third musketeer, he's actually on the mend as well.
We talked about it before, but yeah, he's even better.
We were able to talk with him and kind of touch base with him and Michael, and make sure. And like I said, he's had a very rough couple of months.
He also had a very rough end of 2024.
Very rough as well. And so he's on the mend, thankfully, and he's slowly getting back to his old self. In fact, I texted him, I'm like, dang, I just wanted to touch base with you because I'm like, I see you're posting a lot more, which when he was going through what he was going through, I really didn't see him on. He's a big Instagram person. Anyone who knows him, he's big on Instagram, and he always has the funniest posts and very insightful. And he's like me,
he's like
very
funny, serious, funny, serious. Like he's good mixture.
He's a good mixture. And so he's also because he is an English major and used to teach middle school English. So he's an avid reader. So to see him with his book recommendations again, and like I said, he'll have like funny quick posts and reels. So
I know, I miss his jokes. It's so funny.
So it's just like, because it's just something he posted that I thought was hilarious, and I was just like, oh, I love that little quote that he put out. So I'm like, and I texted him real quick. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I've been through a lot, but he is slowly
on the mend. And
once he is feeling 100%, he will be joining us again on the podcast. So we were thinking about because we usually take a break during the summer.
Yeah, so we're hoping.
So after
we usually take most of June and a little bit of July.
So hopefully he'll be able to join us after the summer break and finish out the rest of the year with us. That's
the plan so far. Or so far, what we're thinking.
That's what we're hopeful for.
Yeah, because we're like, don't rush. I mean, definitely take your time. But we do definitely miss him on the cast. So I'm sure y'all miss his voice too.
Absolutely, and he definitely balances us out. So
I think we did okay though, because I think we both know we can't go too ham like we would. And I think we're just trying not to go like certain topics that we know could be triggers. We're like, okay, let's just hold off on that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when we get heated. So
So but
that's pretty much it.
Just a little update.
I think that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So let's go ahead and jump right into our main topic, and just a little background as far as this was actually my idea for the episode, and it's because I was watching White Lotus, and anyone who's watched White Lotus, it's about different guests that stay at this particular hotel, and one of the guests is actually a group of 3 women,
like a girls trip,
who are on a girls trip, correct? And just so happens that on my For You page, that there was a funny skit that had taken over TikTok where it's the girls group chat. And it's a girl with a point of view. You know, they're all in this group chat, and they have this friend who insists on bringing her boyfriend on this
trip.
It wasn't on not the group
dinner.
chat. She wanted to bring her
boyfriend
for a girls' night out, and so she's playing this particular person account. She was playing all the different roles. There's a group of like 6 or 7 or 8 girls that are going to be going out to dinner, and
we should link the post, or at least the person.
We'll probably tag her so you guys can go. It was a very hilarious, but people were like commenting like, oh my God, I've been in this situation. I've had to deal with this. It's very relatable, kind of thing. And like I said, a lot of people were doing think pieces, and really honestly comes down to, I wanted to discuss what it's like to be friends with or know someone who's a woman who is male centered.
So my friend, I said that we were going to do this, and she said like a pick me.
Like a pick me.
Yeah.
Very much a pick me. So this is I'm going to go through some of the characteristics that you would see in a male-centered woman. So this is a woman who is always seeking male approval and attention. She sees her value only in when other men see her. So, and then
problem girl.
She also tends to be the kind of person who is going to, when it comes to the patriarchy, she is very much, think Pearl. She's a very male-centered commentator that people have seen on social media.
I don't know who Pearl is.
You may not know her, but others may know her.
Oh, okay.
But she's very,
I don't know who that is.
very male-centered. So she's very much. She believes in women should be at home, barefoot and pregnant, cooking, cleaning. That's their role. That's what there should be. The men should
traditional,
very old school traditional. Even though she in no way, shape, or form is old school and traditional, and in any sense. And I'm like, girl. People be like, girl, you don't even have a man. So how can you tell people how to act in a relationship? You don't even have a man.
You don't even have a relationship.
Right. And so they're very rigid in, this is a woman's role. This is what she should do. This is a man's role. This is what he should do. And very much believes in that, he should dominate.
But
he should dominate.
Male-centric women are not necessarily old school traditional. They don't always believe that. Yeah.
No, in the sense of ascribing to the patriarchy. No, there's different, like I said, there's different characteristics of male-centered women.
Male-centered women are ultimately Basically, I feel like it's like they put men first,
right?
And the male opinion is more valuable than anything.
Yeah, even to her own detriment.
Exactly.
Correct. So, and they feel like the only time a woman is of value is when she's in a relationship with a man. So she's either dating someone or she's married. So that's the only time she holds any real value. And so, being friends with these women, I've always felt that it is incredibly dangerous, because one of the characteristics also is that as far as stuff that they will do is that they will put you in dangerous positions or put you in a dangerous a dangerous position when it comes to men. So maybe you're at the club, and we were talking about this as far as what the rule is when you're out and about with your girlfriends, is that they're quick to, if any man shows her any kind of tension, she will completely run off with a complete stranger.
Oh, because she's not putting me in a dangerous situation. She's putting herself in a dangerous situation.
Right.
I'll be at home.
Really?
And because one thing I'm very much about is like, you're an adult. Mm-hmm. I'm in no way trying to convince you, make you do anything you don't want to do. Right. I will give you advice of what I think you should do, but in no way am I going to feel guilty if you run off and don't do the right thing. That you're grown. I cannot force the grown people to make smart decisions. Don't care. Like, oh God, what was this the other day? It was the show, and it was this girl. She kept getting cheated on, and he was around town talking shit about her, cheating on her. People left and right just coming up and this woman would just la 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 la. No, she didn't want to hear it. She didn't want to hear it. She was freaking out at her friends, having like breakdowns. And after a while, I started looking at the people telling her, and I was like, no, it's on you now, bro. Because at this point, I'd be like, you know what? Especially the first time she freaked out on me, especially the second time, I'd be like, you know what? If I do hear anything, I won't say a thing. If I see anything, I won't say anything. It's completely your business.
Right.
And truly, I could see him railing a girl in the middle of the club, and I would be like,
I don't see nothing.
I'd be like, yeah, he's cheating on her, duh. We've been knowing that. She don't care, so I don't care. Some women are perfectly happy living in ignorance. Ignorance is bliss for them, and those are male-centric women.
Yeah,
100%. Because for you, their happiness is more important than anything. And please don't talk bad on my man. He would never do that. That's not true. I'm gonna spin the narrative however I need to spin it to where my man doesn't look bad.
Yeah. I think women like that, they would rather be with a man who's cheating on them than be alone.
Absolutely. And you know what it is, this particular girl? It's so funny we're having this topic because I just finished watching a show. It's called Southern Hospitality on Bravo. But she very much, I never even thought about it, but she 100% is a male-centric woman, because all she can think about, for me, it seems like, because he's in school to be a lawyer. And all she talks about is being a wife of a lawyer, getting the ring. He's in law school, baby. I can't wait for you to be like, she has this vision for her life, and it includes a man, and that man being successful. And she's just like, I don't care what is actually happening. I just care about the picture that's being portrayed.
Right.
And a lot of time male-centric women are like that. Like it's more so
the aesthetics.
Right. Because to your point, like they're more so like, I'd rather, as long as I have a man, if I have a man, I'm okay.
Yeah. They're there for the looks, not necessarily for the feels. And so
of what is actually transpiring in the relationship. Are you making me a better person? Are you making my life better? Am I worried constantly that you're cheating? Because like, I don't think they care.
Yeah.
And so that means I don't care.
Yeah.
Now, I think there was a video Julian had sent outside of those other TikToks that we were talking about, but it was basically like a girl explaining her experience with a friend, and it was like a friend that had, kind of always in the area they had originally lived in. She was always the more desired one. They moved, became roommates, and in whatever the city that they ended up going to, the friend ended up being the more desired one.
So let me set up that premise, because that was actually one of the videos I sent to Janice whenever we were deciding on the topic, and I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I'm talking about when it's male-centered women, where it was two friends. I guess they used to waitress together at a particular restaurant, and they decided, because where she was at, it wasn't a very diverse area that she was in. And so her friend is the stereotypical, standard
measure of beauty.
Thank you so much. That she would get all the play, and she is more she was very attractive. She didn't look like everyone else in the area. She was different.
It was just like more the typical beauty queen type of girl who kind of is used to their male attention or people having attention on her. Right. In this particular area, she was the more.
I think it's somewhere, like I said, I don't remember where it was. I think it was somewhere in the South. Don't quote me. I don't know if it was.
It was Austin.
They were Austin. Yes, they were in Austin, and so it was in Texas, and they decided to move to New York together, which is, of course, a more diverse city. And this girl who wasn't getting a lot of attention when she was in Texas, all of a sudden the roles switched, and she was getting a lot of the attention now that they were in New York. And she described like, hey, I had this guy that we were friends a really long time. It was kind of will they won't they kind of thing going on between them. They were close, and then they would joke around about you're my future wife, you're my future husband, da 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 da. She clearly had a crush on this guy, and when she moved to New York, she was like, okay, the
guy lived in New York.
And
she was telling her friend about him.
She was telling her friend about him, and then the friend
was egging it on and saying, "Oh, girl, you should go for it. Oh my God, this is like the love story that's finally gonna come true. Do it."
And so what happened is that she already had felt her friend's energy shift on her now that she was getting more male attention. And when she was about to go visit this friend, they were gonna.
I was like, well, then
she was gonna go out. She was gonna go out they were gonna meet up, and she's like, hey, come, come out with us, because like I said, the energy had changed.
Mind you, I did think this was the interesting part of the story. The girl said, I did tell her, she was just like, well, I don't want to be a third wheel, because obviously her energy had shifted, right? So she's like, I don't want to be a third wheel. She's like, no, like we're just friends. Like seriously, just come.
Yeah.
But I was thinking in my head,
as friends.
In my head, I'm thinking, if you know this is the type of girl this is, why would you just set her up? Why would you set yourself up for that? Like, you also like understand when you are friends with the pick me, you treat them accordingly. Don't be bringing them around your man
or potential
or
man.
a man you like or you have interest in, because clearly they're going to do everything they can to get that male's attention. And I don't want to be in a competition with the person that I'm claiming to be friends with, especially when something that's new.
Yeah.
So I was like, well,
she did end up going out with her and this guy friend, and she said that when they got together and they were talking, all of a sudden she was all over him, dancing.
Girl, yeah, she hooked up with the girlfriend.
What she did was that she confronted her in the bathroom, was like, hey, are you trying to hook up with dude? She's like, no, he's all yours. That's your dude. That's your friend. And of course, at the end of the night,
I don't think she said no.
Yeah, I think she did. She kind of, she's like, no, you're good. That's you. That's all you. And what happened was that the guy did end up hooking up with the friend. And of course, that's very disappointing for this girl. She's just like, after that, they kind of distanced themselves. And I guess as soon as their lease was over,
pick me girls are not really long-term friends. Like your friend, I have had plenty of pick me girlfriends. You have them for a little bit. They're fun, like, because a lot of times those girls are really fun. They love to go out, they love to party, they like to drink, and you have a good time. So yeah, those girls are usually fun, but they don't last long, because eventually they will like do something to piss you off.
Yeah. And it's almost like, like I said, with the group chat thing, where this is the friend who, when you have a girls' night, always wants to bring their man. Because and then they're like this girl I follow who has,
but again,
amazing analysis. Hold on, she just has amazing analysis. I'm like, the reason why she always wants to bring her man, because she doesn't trust her man at home alone. And it's just like, even though when she knows this man is cheating on her and can't trust her, because she's so vested in being in this, being attached to a man, that she would rather come and ruin your girl's night by bringing this man than to admit, hey, I don't trust this man.
Well,
He's cheating on me.
I'm not that type of friend no more. So I used to be maybe, but I'm not that type of friend no more that's going to sit there and be like upset that you run to bring your man. Because really in the text, the girl said, do you mind? I'd be like, yes, I mind. So see you next time.
Well, she did.
That's fine.
Here's the thing that's with that funny text exchange. Anyone who's watched the entire series, you realize at the end that the girlfriend that wanted to bring her man, turns out she was the side chick. And the guy was dating really somebody else. And the whole reason why she wanted to have this guy come on this girls' night out and change the reservation is because she wanted to confront this man and kind of, I guess, push him to make a choice between the girlfriend and her in front of all her friends. And she thought that all her friends were going to take her side and
why wouldn't she just say that then?
I don't know.
I would just say
per the skit, the friend group had no idea she was the side chick. They thought that was her boyfriend.
So there are some holes in that for me.
Yeah,
in the skit.
Yeah, it's just a skit, but it was just really funny how it ended, and like the girl that I always follow and doing the analysis.
I've actually never had that happen to me. I've never had a group of girlfriends that tried to bring, like, nobody in my friend group has ever tried to bring a man to girl. Well,
yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that would be weird.
I mean, not to girls' night. Maybe we. And I feel like in my early 20s, it was girls' night wasn't really a thing. It was, I mean,
no. If it's girls' night and you specifically, we haven't seen each other in a while. Let's hang out. That constitutes a girls' night out, and that should
that's different.
That. Your significant other,
but like
especially
I used to like go out with not Stacy, like Ashley and Lakin on stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. Like if one of us brought a guy, that wouldn't be like a guy crashing girls' night. That would just be.
So here's the thing.
Guy.
If other significant others can come, I don't consider that.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like back then, it would be like if all three of us would go out all the time, and there would be times where like I might want to bring a guy or meet out with a guy, but it wasn't like this is like a special girls' night.
Right.
Like for our dinners and stuff, like I wouldn't invite a man to our dinners and stuff because like we only do those once a month or so, and it's dinner. It's not like going out and like having a night.
Yeah.
So a little different.
That's usually when we sit down and discuss girl stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
As well. That's specifically what we do those things for, to decompress with your girls.
In this kid, I thought it was funny because they were very much trying to like what's the word? In the skit they were like trying to give her excuses of why he couldn't come. I was like, girl, they're better than me. I would have been like, no, he can't come.
Yeah.
No. The answer is no.
But sometimes people just don't have the heart to tell people. No.
But you have the heart enough to talk about her behind her back amongst yourselves.
That's true.
So might as well tell her no and tell her why.
But I think
girl, this is girls' night.
I think it's a little different, but I feel like sometimes not everybody has.
I feel like that's
the capacity to be that confrontational. Sometimes.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess that's more. Not being an adult, but I guess being okay with confrontation, but I guess but not again, you're friends. What's the point of being friends with somebody if I can't be honest with you and say, hey, happens. No, I don't want to. Yeah, I guess so. It
happens.
But especially for that, especially when out of 5 girls, all 4 of them don't want it to happen. Girl, y'all stand up together and be like, no.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, I mean, y'all are even entertaining this girl. I'd have been like, no, Tiffany, we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye, girl. I'd be like, oh, you can't make it. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I would say. And that would be me being less passive aggressive, like more passive aggressive. I'd be like, oh, okay, girl, I'm sorry you can't make it. Like, oh, no, you can't make it.
Oh,
that sucks. Well, y'all have fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but male-centered friends I've had plenty. They're no fun. They are temp in your life, and it's really, I feel sorry for them a lot of the times because I'm like, really, your whole entire like identity is in a man, so at the end of the day, you're always going to be upset if you're alone.
But don't you think they're temp because I feel like those are the kind of friends that also once they get a man, they kind of ghost you anyways?
No, because I'm not really that type of friend that needs that much attention. So for me, I literally you could I don't like if you get a man and you want to go off with your man and literally I see you once every 6 months, that's fine with me.
Okay,
works for me.
Yeah,
but again, I'm not that needy of a friend.
Yeah,
really not. Like,
yeah, I know that.
I might reach out and be like, hey girl,
what's going on?
Yeah,
but I think it's different because I feel like that you're the kind of person, and I feel like I'm the same way, that I enjoy my own company.
Yeah, I do. So, but that has come throughout the years. I talk about it. I was talking about it with Lakin the other day, but I remember a time where I loved being out. Like I loved having a plan, being at a friend's house, drinking, having a shot or whatever, and popping by after work. Girl, I race home. And even when and as I'm out, my thought process is, oh, I can't wait to get home.
Yeah, because but I think also
but the better part would be and to be fair, that would improve my life if I had like a significant other to share that home with. But I still would want to be at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we can do things here and there.
Exactly.
Like, but ultimately, like, I feel like that's the best part of living with like a boyfriend or a significant other is like you always have like a partner in crime.
Yeah.
Like if you want to randomly be like, I want to go to at home. Come on, boo. I want to go to a movie. Come on, boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to dinner. Come on, boo. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can lay around all day.
Yeah. Because I feel like, I think almost
clean together, cook together.
Yeah. If you're in a relationship, and then I feel like, that's why I believe in having separate spaces as well.
Yeah.
Because even though you're living together, you can, like I said, you're cooking, cleaning, watching TV, doing whatever. You go out, you have your dinners, you go to the movies or whatever, have, your fun time, and stuff like that. And it's funny because I actually have a friend that, her and her husband go, she posts on, and I see their little date nights that they have, and it looks like they go on regular date nights. I'm like, you guys are such a cute couple, and they're very, very close, and I'm just like, I love that for them. But I think couples,
like
as much time as you're together, you also want to have the times where you have your own hobbies and do things separate. Yeah. And so even if you're in the house, I'm like, hey, somebody could be in one room watching a television and someone is in another room, maybe playing video games or reading a book or whatever. So that way, even though you're together, you're in your own separate little corner of the house, and enjoying whatever you like to enjoy. Maybe not always up underneath each other all the time. I think that will just be perfect.
I'm more like, go play that video game, boo. Go do it.
Enjoy.
You want to go work out? Go for it. Bye. See you later. Like I'm not.
Let me crawl up and watch the show.
I'm perfectly fine with being by myself, but it's like, and that's the thing. I think that's when you look for a relationship, you should be looking to add to your life, like enhance the life, not necessarily like completely change your life.
But I think, I mean,
sometimes your life does completely change, and that's okay too.
But I think the ideal relationship is someone who enhances my life, makes it easier. I'm like, I don't think I could be in a relationship with someone who's constantly stressing me out. Like when you walk out the door, I shouldn't have to think about, I wonder what he's doing,
Oh, that's like, so you don't trust them.
Right. I don't want that.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
I don't want that. I want to know
but
that.
I look at those memes all the time. And it's just like, who's at the house not stressing? Me. Just sitting there watching TV, knowing ain't nobody out there cheating on me.
Yeah.
Honey.
Because I feel like
that's a bad relationship.
But I also think that when you're a male-centered woman,
that's all you can think about. Really,
I feel like that's all they think about, and I'm just like, does that not stress you the fuck?
Well,
out?
Not always, because that girl from Southern Hospitality, she's definitely not at home thinking. In fact, she's like, so not thinking about it, because it's like, for her, it's not even in the realm of possibility that he could even do that, because she's so in love with him. And
okay, but
again, this is just fitting the picture of her life, and he's the prize.
But do you think
not the person?
That's just the image she's portraying, but behind closed doors, when the cameras are off, do you think it's totally different? that she could be because she
actually, yeah, it could be because I'm telling you the way she freaks out on these people. It's like it's like mental breakdowns. I'm like, whoa,
yeah,
it's like little mental breakdowns. So and it could be something like that because she knows deep down
it's true.
This is you're not probably gonna be happy forever. Because that's what she said one time. Everybody just didn't understand. Like, how do they not get it? I'm happy with him. I want to be with him. And I'm just like, so basically, that's like saying, like, I don't care what he's doing. Just leave me to my ignorance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think she's not necessarily in love with the person. She's in love with the life that she feels like she will have with that person.
She's in love with it all. And he's the person that's attached to it. She's in love with, I don't even know, maybe the relationship it was before, because it seemed like they really liked each other before. But I think he went to law school and just lost interest.
That's sad. And you think he would be, if he lost interest, he'd be like, can you just like put her out of her misery and be like, hey,
why would he need to do that? He's in law school cheating with her, none the wiser. And I get to have this girl come down and cook for me and clean for my apartment and do my laundry. Sure, I'll keep you around. I ain't got you low maintenance. I ain't got to do much for you.
Yeah, but I think that's so crappy.
It is. It's horrible for her. And that's why I'm saying a lot of times male-centric women have very low self-esteem and they don't believe they do. They tell themselves whatever it is to make it okay. Especially with this girl in particular, because I'm like, dang, she's being played on TV, and every single person is just like telling you, every person, including like people at Bravo, like producers and shit, are like, hey girl.
Yeah.
And she's just like, let me live.
But yeah, I feel
like even she was so bad. Even one girl, when she went to go cry, and she like sobbed, and the girl was like, oh girl. Like, she was like, oh my God.
You're doing too much.
Like, cause it was, Jillian, it was too much. It was too much. And I feel bad for her, but I don't feel bad for her.
Yeah.
She needs to do some self-work.
Yeah. I think that's really, at the end of the day, I think we as women are sometimes groomed to think that way. As far as being someone who we're always, as women, meant to put our husbands before anything else, our children before anything else, and even to our own detriment.
I think that's we've been it's like tale as old as time type thing.
Yeah. So I think it's hard. I think it's a hard thing to break out of, and I hope eventually those women will realize that you're kind of a hamster on a wheel, that it's really not going to get you anywhere.
Because the men are going to be gone. You're not going to have any friends around you either, because you're to push all your friends away.
Yeah.
And sadly, in some of these male-centered women find men who are abusive and mentally, emotionally, and physically. They take advantage.
Yeah.
So and even like I was like dating this guy, and he kept like, it just, and then later on I kind of look back on it and I was like, that was very like playing with my mind. Like, definitely loved on me, but was very much like, you'll never leave me, right? You never leave me. You would never leave me. Constantly asking me that. And I was like,
if you keep asking me this question, yeah.
And in my head, I would be like, first, you're all into the relationship, all gung ho. No, never. And then later you're like, well, shit, I don't know. Don't push me. Like, I want to go give you a blind yes. Yeah. No, I would never leave you. Of course I would. Depends on what you do, sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it is what it is.
But I feel like they're almost testing to see how far they can go sometimes.
How far they can push you.
Yeah.
So just to wrap things up, like I said, my opinions when it comes to male-centered women, like I said, they tend not to be the best girlfriends to start with. I feel like
they're temps.
Yeah. I think you described that excellently. Excellently. Is that a word?
Excellently? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Excellently.
I feel like, okay, we'll have to look that up.
Maybe. Y'all let us know.
Let us know. So I feel like when it comes to male-centered women, like I said, these are very hard women to be friends with for many different reasons. And I feel like they're not really interested in, I also think they're not really interested. And typically male-centered women you tend to be the women that make the statements, oh, I never really had girlfriends. I find
that red flag. Always a red flag.
I can never make friends with women. I'm always friends with the guys.
With men.
Yes.
Red flag.
Yeah. Those are male
Why?
centered women.
So funny. Lakin said that the other day. I hate women who said that they're, better friends with men. I was like, yeah, no, I think that's probably true. Like, for you, it's one thing to like just get along with guys. Mm-hmm. But why can't you get along with women too?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You are a woman. Mm-hmm. Oh, women are too dramatic. Or is it women are dramatic when they notice that you do bullshit?
Yeah.
Like, look for attention.
They call you out on your shit. Yeah.
Like, look for attention constantly from your male friends.
Yeah. The male friends won't call you out on that. Women definitely will.
Male, first of all, males don't care about that kind of stuff. And secondly, you're walking around looking cute. I mean, okay, I'll look.
Yeah.
But you're still not going to be the one they choose. Yeah. So it's always a red flag to me when they're like, oh, I don't really have women friends. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, damn, your damn mama don't even like you.
Yeah. I'm like, no women, like, zero, zilch, nada.
Yeah. Even though that's a red flag too, when like your only friend is your mom. I'm like, why? Why is your mom the only one that likes you?
Who knows?
The one that's obligated to? Ooh, scary.
That's scary. Yeah.
But
yeah. So like I said, one of the red flags. So like I said, I personally, I tend not to be. I honestly can't think of any friends that are that male centered, or at least none that I've
eliminated them now.
Yeah, I those are the ones that I those are the kind of women I would have the hardest time being friends with. So they typically, we may say hi and bye kind of person.
Because all they want to talk about is their man too. Mm-hmm.
And so for me, at the end of the day, those are women that like I said, I keep a small circle. And in that small circle, those women aren't going to be able to get in or stay in. So,
yeah,
more power to you if you can be friends with these women. More power to you. But for me personally, I can't.
I feel like for me, I wouldn't say I can't be friends with like a woman who's male centric. I mean, I've had friends that are male centric, but I would say like at this point, none of my girlfriends really are. Mm-hmm. I would say they're self-centric. Like we're more into ourselves than anything at this point.
Yeah.
And the ones who are married or with somebody, like this, like an extension that was like, oh, okay, I'll be in a relationship. Why not? Yeah. So, but I would say if you do have male-centric friends, you can be friends with them, but you just need to set boundaries. You need to set firm boundaries with those friends, and treat them accordingly. Mm-hmm. Don't be bringing these girls around your dude. Right. So let them come and stay the night. For what? No, they don't need to be really around your man like that. They need to be like, that's an arm's length friend.
Right.
I'm gonna keep you at arm's length. You're an acquaintance. You can maybe attend you can maybe come to a party I'm throwing. But as far as intimate settings with like me and my like spouse, probably not.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
You wouldn't trust them around her.
No. Yeah. I have definitely had friends where you can't trust them around your guy. Like even ones that I would claim to be my best of friend. Like they were like my best friend at the time. Mm-hmm. And still would do weird things around guys that I was dating or talking to or liking or had a situationship type thing with. And I've literally had it.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Also, I think with male-centered women, if you are starting to get the attention that they're seeking, they'll be quick to embarrass you in front of those men.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Just like kind of put you down or, I had a friend like that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
She'll like bring up embarrassing
stories. Yeah, she was the epitome of that. But the thing about the particular friend I know you're talking about, she really wasn't the one that got a lot of attention. I would say I got more attention. Yet she
craved
it. She move things like, but she had a lot of different bad situations with these guys. I'm like, these are not guys you should even be entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, I would never have even entertained that. But that's the thing. I wouldn't entertain a lot. So,
yeah. All right.
Fine.
Well,
anyway, so we don't like male-centered girls. We feel like y'all should definitely do some self-work.
Yeah.
That's what I got to say.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you guys have any comments, go ahead and comment on the podcast or social media.
Yeah, or send us your story. I'd love to hear some stories, and especially if you'd like to share.
Mm-hmm. All our social medias is in the bio. So if you want to share, just let us know what your experiences are with male-centered women as well, because we would love to hear that stuff, because it's I think it's a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I think all like most women have can say they've that aren't male centric can say they've experienced a male centric woman.
Yeah, so
and it's the stories are different.
Yeah. So go ahead. Like I said, you can catch us on our social medias. Make sure you like, follow, comment on our social
Instagram,
medias.
Facebook, TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and get out of here, get on with our nights, and prep for another work week.
Let's go work week.
Yeah. So
all right.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on the latest episode of Let Me Finish. Thank you guys for joining us for another week and listening to the latest episode. Don't forget, go like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platforms. And you guys can also follow us and see us on different platforms. I am on Instagram, and that's going to be Uniquely Janice. And then I'll also be on TikTok, Janice H, GENICEH. Michael, where can they find you?
I'm only on Instagram, and it's Kasra Salimi. And by Kasra Salimi, I mean Kasra Writes, because I changed it and I just forgot. So it's KASRA Writes, WRITES.
Yes. Jillian, where can we find you?
Instagram as well, and it's New Jillian Who Dis.
New Jillian Who Dis. All right. Well, we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.